Hello, little artists and story lovers. Welcome back to our story corner. Are you ready for a magical adventure? Today, we're going to tell a story about a little boy who finds something truly special. Let's get comfy, snuggle up, and dive into the wonderful tale of Benny and the magical crayons. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, lived a cheerful boy named Benny. Benny loved to draw more than anything in the world. He drew on stacks of paper. He drew on the big cardboard boxes his mum saved for him. And sometimes, if he was feeling extra creative, he'd even draw on the frosty window panes in the winter. Benny had one big, wonderful dream. He wished that one day his pictures could come alive. He imagined his little drawn birds flying around his room and his colorful drawn flowers filling the air with a sweet scent. One afternoon, the rain was pitter-pattering against the window, making everything outside look grey and sleepy. Benny was looking for something fun to do when he decided to tidy up under his bed. Tucked away in a dusty corner, he found something he'd never seen before. It was a shiny old box, painted with swirls of gold and silver. It felt warm to the touch. Written across the lid in sparkling letters were the words, "Magic Crayons, draw your dreams." Benny's eyes grew as wide as saucers. Magic crayons, could it be true? His heart thumped with excitement. With trembling hands, Benny opened the box. Inside, nestled in soft velvet, were the most beautiful crayons he had ever seen. They shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow and seemed to hum with a gentle energy. He carefully picked out a brown crayon. Taking a deep breath, he drew a small, fluffy puppy on a piece of paper. He drew floppy ears, a wagging tail, and 4 little paws. He was just adding the final dot for its nose when suddenly, poof, a cloud of sparkling dust filled the air. And right there, jumping off the paper and onto his bedroom floor, was the little puppy. It barked a happy little yap and wagged its tail so hard its whole body wiggled. Benny couldn't believe his eyes. He reached out and pet the puppy's soft fur. It was real. The magic crayons were real. Benny laughed with joy. His dream had come true. He grabbed the crayons and his imagination soared. First, he drew a tall, strong tree with the green and brown crayons. Whoosh! A magnificent oak tree grew right in the corner of his room, its leaves rustling gently. Next, he drew beautiful butterflies with wings of yellow, purple, and blue. Fluttering and dancing, they flew off the page and began to circle the room, leaving trails of glitter behind them. He drew a bright, smiling sun to hang in the air, and then a magnificent, curving rainbow that stretched from one side of his room to the other. His bedroom was no longer just a room. It was a magical wonderland filled with his creations. The puppy chased the butterflies, the sun shone warmly, and Benny felt like the happiest boy in the world. But then, as he sat surrounded by his living drawings, Benny got a little asterisk to asterisk excited. He had a grand, bold idea. he thought to himself, a mischievous twinkle in his eye. I've drawn small, friendly things. What if I draw something big and spectacular? What if I draw a friendly dragon? He imagined a kind dragon with sparkly scales that he could ride through the sky. Yes, that was the perfect idea. He grabbed the big green crayon and started sketching the dragon's long, winding body. He drew 2 big wings, a strong tail, and sharp, but not too sharp claws. He was just about to draw a big, friendly, happy smile on the dragon's face when, achoo, Benny let out a giant sneeze. His hand wobbled and the crayon skidded across the paper, drawing a zigzaggy, grumpy frown instead of a smile. Before he could fix it, there was a tremendous roar. A huge, grumpy-looking dragon burst from the paper. It wasn't sparkly and friendly like he had imagined. This dragon had a frowny face and smoke was puffing out of its nostrils. It stomped its giant foot, making the whole room shake. The little puppy yelped and hid under the bed. The beautiful butterflies fluttered away in a panic. The grumpy dragon looked around, scrunched up its nose, and then it sneezed, not a normal sneeze, but a sneeze of fiery sparks. "Oh no!" Benny cried. Tiny flames shot out and singed the leaves of his magical tree. The dragon sneezed again, and more fireballs whizzed through the air. This was a disaster. Benny felt a knot of panic in his tummy. His beautiful, happy wonderland was turning into a smoky, scary mess. He wanted to hide, but then he remembered something his kind teacher, Miss Appleblossom, always said in class. Every problem, no matter how big, can be fixed with a little bit of kindness and a spark of creativity. He looked at the grumpy, fire-sneezing dragon, and he realized the dragon wasn't mean, was just unhappy. Maybe it sneezed fire because it had a cold from the accidental frown. Benny knew what he had to do. He couldn't erase the dragon, but maybe he could make it happy. Thinking fast, he grabbed his magical crayons again. First, he took the pink and white crayons and quickly drew a giant 3-scoop ice cream cone. He drew strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate with sprinkles on top. Poof, a delicious-looking ice cream cone appeared in his hand. Then he grabbed the blue crayon and drew a big, fluffy cloud right above the dragon's head. Whoosh! The cloud appeared and started raining cool, gentle drops, putting out the little fires and cooling the dragon's hot head. The grumpy dragon stopped sneezing. It sniffed the air. Its big, scaly nose twitched. It smelled the sweet, yummy strawberry ice cream. Its grumpy frown started to soften. Benny bravely walked closer and held out the giant cone. "Here you go, Mr. Dragon," he said softly. "Maybe this will make you feel better." The dragon looked at Benny, then at the ice cream. It slowly leaned down and took a big lick. Strawberry. It rumbled in a surprisingly deep and gentle voice. A little smile finally appeared on its face. The frown was gone. Benny laughed with relief. "See her," he said to his puppy, who was now peeking out from under the bed. "A little sweetness can fix almost anything." The dragon, no longer grumpy, sat down and happily finished its ice cream. It even let the butterflies land on its nose. Benny had fixed his mistake. He had turned a scary situation into a happy one, not by fighting, but by being kind and clever. From that day on, Benny continued to use his magical crayons, but he was always extra careful. He used them to draw beautiful parks for his town, funny cartoons to make his friends laugh, and wonderful stories that came to life for everyone to enjoy. He learned that the greatest magic of all wasn't just bringing drawings to life, but using his creativity to spread fun, happiness, and kindness all around him. And he and his friendly dragon became the very best of friends. And that's the story of Benny and his magical crayons. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, just like Benny, you have the power to make the world a more beautiful and kinder place with your own creativity. Thank you so much for listening today. If you liked our story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more wonderful adventures. See you next time. Bye-bye.